Hey guys, welcome back to this week's Grazy TV. So today we're going to be talking about creepy, weird games only played in Korea. You should probably stay away from them because they get a little bit weird and a little bit creepy. And at the end, I definitely want to know if there's any weird, creepy games in your country that is played that to us in other countries might seem super just weird, but might be normal in your country. So number one, we're gonna go into 똥침. This is more on the weird side, and I want to know if this kind of things exist in your country because I have never heard of it outside of Korea or Asia. So 똥침 is directly translated to poop needle. So this actually comes up in many Asian children movies, cartoons. I mean, it's even in Naruto. How normal is this? I mean, this comes up in major public TV like comedy shows, dramas. We watched it as growing up as totally normal because it's on TV and in cartoons. So basically, this is a position that you have in the West. This is known as like the spy gun. So basically what you do is you poke the person's butt. So how you play the poop needle game is usually you do like rock, scissors, paper, and whoever wins gets to needle the other person. Obviously, it's a little bit painful, and that's supposed to be the funny thing. When you're young, usually kids make fun of poop jokes and like bathroom jokes. It's supposed to be funny and dirty. But, as I get older, it's a little bit weird. You know what I mean? There's actually like computer games involving poop needles. I mean, it is a little bit like creepy if you think about it in a different way. Now, to a Western country, this could be actually illegal. If you ever see kids or anyone playing the poop needle game in America or in the Western countries, you'll probably see moms and dads calling 911. So you guys let me know anything related to poop. It's supposed to be funny as a child. Do you think this is just a funny humor, or do you think this is actually a little bit creepy and weird? Alright, the next game we have the elevator game. This is actually pretty spooky, and I was getting like goosebumps as I was researching this. So it's a ritual that brings you to another dimension or another world. Now there's a lot of confessions. You could actually like type it on Google and find it. There's a lot of people saying that they got into big troubles, that they've been into different dimensions, that this is a very dangerous game. A lot of people think that some people that are missing could have played the elevator game. Let me just read you guys the brief rules and how to start the game. So the things that you will need is a public building with at least 10 floors. So they say it should be a public building, but I'm not sure if that really makes a big difference. You need one or more person to play this game. So to start the game, the players need to enter the elevator. So press the 4th floor. Do not proceed if someone enters the elevator or one of the players leave the elevator. If someone does that, you must start from the beginning. Press the 2nd floor. Then you press the 6th floor. Then you go back to the 2nd floor. Then you press the 10th floor. Then you press the 5th floor. Now apparently at a 5th floor, this is where a woman will enter the elevator. Do not look at her. Oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps. Oh my god. Do not look at her, do not speak, and don't talk to her. That woman is not a human. If you do, she will decide to keep you for her own. This woman apparently will come in all forms. It could be a child, it could be someone like really pretty trying to distract you, so you cannot look at her, do not speak to her, do not do anything, or it can go bad. So after that, you press the 1st floor. The elevator will either ascend or descend. If the elevator reaches the 10th floor, leave and do not respond to the woman if she asks, "Where are you going?" or "What's wrong?" Her voice will be high when she asks that. To know that if you're in the other dimension or the world, or if you have succeeded this game, if you're alone, that means you are in the other world. Electronics will not work in the other world. A lot of people say those who have succeeded in this game, they couldn't use their phones or like take any videos because electronics will not work. Number 3, the other world is identical to our world, but the 2 differences you will see are the lights will be off, and the only thing you will be able to see from the window is a red cross in the distance. Oh, I am literally getting shivers. First of all, to return to our world, you must go back to the same elevator and press the same button. So the code is 4262105 again. After you reach the 1st floor, check your surroundings carefully. If anything seems off, even the smallest detail, do not exit the elevator. If you detect something is wrong, repeat step 2 until your surroundings look as they should. Once you're confident you have returned to your own world, you may safely exit the elevator. This is super creepy, super weird, and a lot of instructions, so you better memorize it. Now it says getting back to your own world may be difficult because you might become a little disoriented and forget which elevator in which you arrived. 5, so you need to know the exact elevator. Be vigilant and keep your wits about you, so you cannot like go crazy. You need to keep your sanity when you're doing this. If at one point during your ritual you faint, you pass out, otherwise lose consciousness, you will likely wake up in your own home. However, be sure to carefully examine your surroundings. The home to which you have returned to may not be the one you left. So to me, it's kind of like Inception, when you go into another world, and just get lost at the end. So that might be like very dangerous. So there's basically a bunch of different rooms. Oh my god, that scared the fuck out of me. Highly recommend do not try this game. There's a lot of confessions on the internet of some people have tried and things just like went really wrong in their normal lives, so I really do not recommend doing this. Some people might think of this as just a fun game, and some people actually believe in these things, that it's really dangerous to do these kind of rituals. Once you put your intention out there, who knows what could happen. Guys, you guys let me know if you know anyone that has tried this game, or if you would ever try this, or if you even believe in these kind of things. Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear it. Next, we're gonna go to the leapfrog game. This is the Western version of the game, and this is the Asian version of the game. The way you do leapfrog in Korea, you need to have like a wall or like a tree, and then you have one person standing. And then you have about 4 or 5 different people basically like leaning down, and you must hold onto the other person's leg. So the other opponent team, one by one, they run and jump and land on the person that is leaning on the ground. And if one person falls, I think that's how you lose the game. Now, when I was young, I didn't notice that this was dangerous, obviously. If you guys know, a lot of like young boys, they're very aggressive when it comes to games. You might even break your back doing this game. I remember I played it when I was a baby in Korea, and I remember kids would get injured all the time playing this game because obviously you're jumping on someone's back. And of course, your like pants starts to fall down and kids make fun of you and things like that. It's supposed to be a fun game. It's like a traditional thing. To Westerners, this might seem a little bit creepy and weird. But to Asians, it's just a humor. It's just supposed to be funny. It's not supposed to be like weird or dirty at all. I want you guys to know if you guys have a similar game like this in your country. And if you don't, what do you think about this game? Do you think this is weird and creepy? Or do you think this is just normal and it's just a humor? So next, we're going to be talking about the haunted school game. Now, if you guys know, in the West, usually haunted places are more like those old mansions, old medical buildings, and things like that. But in Korea, did you know there's a lot of like haunted schools? Now, there are many stories that involve haunted school bathrooms, and now that could be because there's a high like depression rate in South Korea because the educational pressure is so high. And maybe that is why there's just negative stories and energies in schools. So it seems like the school ritual game is where you have like your notebook, there's a pencil, you put your hands together, you say probably some kind of spell. There's also a lot of movies involving haunted schools in Korea. You guys can watch them if you guys like haunted movies. There's also a board game regarding haunted school. Now this is a little bit odd to me just because I feel like, I don't know, maybe you shouldn't put in kids' heads that schools are scary. To the West or Americans, this may seem a little bit odd because like schools is supposed to be like happy, learning place, and very positive, you know, with the clubs and sports. Every time I ask my Korean friends that went to schools in Korea, they always tell me about these haunted stories in their schools, especially in the bathrooms for some reason. There's also a popular internet game called White Day that involves scary haunted schools. Now, White Day in Korea is kind of like the second version of Valentine's Day. So it's interesting how this game is called White Day. Basically, you're kind of stuck at the school in the night and there's like creepy stuff coming up and you gotta fight them. Countless times, if you walk by schools in the middle of the night, it's just so scary. I mean, just the building, the way it's set up, like the big windows. A lot of people report people passing by like really quickly into windows, or especially people that are in like the rooftops. So I really want to know if you guys in your country, are schools usually haunted, and if you would play these haunted school games. The last one I'm going to be doing is something called takji game. Takji used to be like a very like traditional growing up game. I remember I even played it in Korea when I was like 5-6 years old. It's like a popular game among like the elementary school kids. The rule of the game is you must slap your paper onto the other person's paper and you must flip the opponent's paper over, and that is how you win. So therefore your paper or takji must be more harder in order to like slap the other person's over. So how can this game be dangerous, right? So the rule is once you knock knock over the opponent's ducty or the paper, you basically as a prize get to keep that opponent's paper. I remember this one of the opponent. He was a guy, he knocked over my ducty paper. It kind of is like a gambling chip to us, you know, it's kind of like how much I have is the best. It's kind of like money to young kids in a way. Do you see what this game is like? It's basically like gambling for little kids. I remember when the opponent won, I would cry, my brother would cry because we need to give up our papers, and it's like, oh my god, like the world is over. Ever since we're young, we're kind of like being brainwashed to gamble, and if we lose it all. If we win it all. And then you probably ask your mom or you steal other people's papers. I mean, that is kind of where all these negative things possibly could emerge. I didn't realize like that was a thing that was going on until I was an adult, and I look back and I was like, oh my god, this is like gambling for little kids. Of course, I might be exaggerating, or other people who think like me might be exaggerating. Anyway, you guys let me know if there's a similar game like this, kind of like gambling in your country, and I want to know what you guys think of this game. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you guys have any scary stories involving these similar type of games, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear them. If you guys like that, remember to like this video. It really helps me out. And remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell because I reply to all my early birds. Thank you guys, and see you guys next time. Bye!